Hi YouTube. I say hi YouTube every single time. I just don't know what else to say. But hi you guys. Welcome back to my channel. It has been forever since I filmed, so I'm so excited to be back in my little setup and be filming for you guys today. So today's video is going to be a really fun one. The title of this video is How I'm Moving Abroad at 22 and how you can too. For me, it's not just enough to like find opportunities and cool things and just keep it to myself and hoard the knowledge. I really do love sharing, and I really do love spreading and sharing knowledge, especially with people in my community. I think traveling is just such a beautiful and transformative experience, and I know that living abroad is going to be even more transformative and even more beautiful. And so if I can do my part to help other people who are even interested in the idea of moving abroad, I really hope I can do my part to get that information out. So today I will be giving you guys information about the program that I'm using to move abroad. And when I say move abroad, technically I'm kind of cheating because I'm only going abroad for like about a year. My program lasts for about 9 months. And then after the duration of my program, I do intend on just like spending some time over that summer in Thailand and Bali, like rent out a villa or something and just stay by myself and live in isolation with nature and all that jazz. So I'll probably be out of the United States for at least a year, but I just want to give you guys information on the program that I'm using to make this dream a reality for myself and give you tips on how you can also take advantage of it. So that's coming right up. All right, first things first, you guys are going to see me be looking down. I'm so sorry, I can't have all this information in my head. Like the high school debater in me is like screaming and crying because I just hate looking at notes. You know, I'm really into just extemporaneous speaking and it's just more engaging, but I'm really sorry. I just want to get this information out to you guys. So the title of my program is Auxiliares de Conversación en España. So that's the Spanish name, and the English translation kinda is North American Language and Cultural Assistance in Spain. A mouthful. For the purpose of this video, I'll be calling it the Spain Auxiliary Program. There's a lot of names for this program. When you start joining Facebook groups and like Googling it and stuff, people find their own ways of shortening the title of the program, and sometimes you'll see it in Spanish, sometimes you'll see it in English. So just don't get confused, it's all the same thing. Now I'm gonna go over some facts about the program. The most important fact about this program is that it is free. It is free, does not cost a dime to be a part of it, does not cost a dime to apply for it, nothing. It's completely free. And part of the reason why it's free is because it's with the Spanish Ministry of Education. Now in this program, you will be serving as an English teaching assistant. Not a teacher, not a principal, not an administrator, nothing too intense. You are simply an English teaching assistant. And I think that's really advantageous because it puts you in a position where you're not overburdened and stressed with like the demands of running a classroom. You're really just kind of there as a supportive role for the teacher and helping to enhance the children's English and French education. So with this program, you can come and apply as an English teacher or a French teacher. You do have to be a native speaker of either language. I applied as an English teacher because I have no understanding of the French language. So I will be assisting with English teaching courses. Furthermore, with this role, you're also kind of serving as like a cultural ambassador. They also expect that you teach the kids about holidays and traditions in the United States. Me being the kind of person I am, will definitely be talking about social justice issues present in the United States, race relations, and just things of that nature to help enlighten the children and give them an understanding of just how life is in the United States. Also with this program, one of my favorite parts, you only work 12 to 16 hours a week. As someone who hates working, like I truly cannot. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I can't stress how much I hate working. I hate it. But as someone who hates working, this is like a dream job for me because you only work 12 to 16 hours, you're not even doing anything super intense, and you have the opportunity to be funded while you're living in a foreign country having an amazing time. So it's just the perfect situation to be in. Oh, snap, I didn't even realize. So I didn't realize that my wig was lifting. I definitely did not glue it down all the way because I'm just filming and I am not going anywhere. So forgive that. Furthermore, with this program, you'll be spending 1 full academic year in Spain. So Spain and a lot of European and a lot of other countries, their school system and the dates are quite different from the United States, where it's traditionally from like August to June or May or something. In Spain, it starts October 1st and ends May 31st for most of the regions in Spain. For Madrid, which is the location that I applied to be in, I'll be going from October 1st and for another month, which will be until June 30th. So I'll be there for 9 months in Madrid, España. Now, money. How much do they pay you in this program? All right, so get ready for this. You are put on a stipend of 700 to 1,000 euros. And before anyone freaks out and is like, how could anyone live off of this? It's doable, and people have been living off of this for years and years. This program has been around for quite some time now. I think over a decade by now. This is Editing Michelle here. So I can't believe I forgot to mention, you also have the opportunity or the option to teach English classes on the side. As a native speaker, you are a hot commodity in Spain. So you could definitely take advantage of that, and people and parents will hire you to teach their kids Spanish and give them tutoring lessons and stuff like that. So that's definitely a great way to make money on the side to help supplement your income. Also, it's important to keep in mind the cost of living in Spain is a lot cheaper and a lot more reasonable than it is in the United States, especially depending on the region you choose to apply to. So in Madrid, as you know, Madrid is an international city, so the cost of living is a bit pricier, and the stipend amount reflects that. So we get the full 1,000 euros as our stipend amount, and that's to use towards rent, living expenses, and just your general upkeep in that country. However, if finances are really a big issue for you, you can apply to be in other regions that are a lot more affordable. A lot of places in like the rural areas of Spain, you can probably find apartments for like 200 euros a month in rent. And so it just really depends on what kind of lifestyle you want and how much savings you're coming into the country with and how you choose to do things. Now, I will definitely say that there are people who are definitely able to live off of 1,000 euros a month. Just to give you an approximation, in Madrid, I'm looking at renting places that are within about like 500 to 700 euros on the high end, and the remainder of my stipend will just go towards food and general upkeep. Me being the kind of person I am, I know that's not going to be enough, and so I'm definitely coming over with savings, and I'll be making a future video on budgeting, and I'll be giving you guys the tea on how much money I'm bringing, and just being very real about my financial situation with moving abroad, because I do want to be transparent so this information can actually be helpful to people out there. And yes, another note about this money is that it is tax-free. So you will be receiving the full 700, the full 1,000 euros without having to deduct anything for taxes and so forth. All right, eligibility. So this program is actually pretty easy to get into. There's not a lot of requirements for you to have. It's not extremely super stringent. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can get into this program. It's not extremely competitive either. You just have to have a US or Canadian passport. You have to have a bachelor's degree or an equivalent by the beginning of the program start date. But also you can be like a junior or a senior in college and still do the programs. English or French has to be your first language. You have to be in good health, both physically and mentally. You have to have a clean background check. I'm actually in this process. While you're applying for your visa, you have to get your background check from the FBI and just make sure you're not, you don't have anything on your record and stuff. So you have to have a clean background check. And then with age, most people in the program are between 21 to 35. There's not really any tough, like hardcore age limits. You just can't be born before October 31st of 1960. So you can really do this at any age before October 1st, 1960. And then lastly, this isn't an official requirement, I don't believe, but I think it's definitely something important to consider if you are trying to do this program. I recommend having some degree of proficiency in the Spanish language. Now, granted, just with how the world is and globalization and, you know, the privilege that comes with being a native English speaker, I just think it's kind of disrespectful to move to a different country for an extended period of time with the assumption that you don't need to learn a language, you can just use English to get by. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's just really I think it's kind of sickening to kind of navigate a foreign space with that degree of entitlement. So I personally believe that if you're going to do this program, take some time to learn the Spanish language. I don't think the Spanish is actually not too difficult. As long as you have the interest in it and you're dedicated and you're diligent, it's definitely something you can do. For me, I studied Spanish all through high school for about 4 years, and then I did a bit of college. I studied abroad in Spain while I was an undergrad. So I'm like I'm an intermediate Spanish speaker, Spanish writer, that type situation. So I definitely know I can get by, and I'm really hoping to increase my proficiency while I'm there. But as someone who's even studied Mandarin Chinese for some time in high school, Spanish is not too difficult of a language to learn. So, you know, if you really are serious about trying to do this program and you don't have any Spanish proficiency, I would recommend taking some time throughout the year before you apply to learn Spanish. You know, learn basic grammar, learn verb conjugation, learn basic vocabulary, just things like that, because it's only going to make your life easier, especially if you choose to live in like the outskirts of Spain and more rural areas where you're really with like a lot of native Spanish people, compared to like Madrid, where there's a lot of like, it's an international city, there's a lot of expats and stuff, so English is going to be spoken more frequently. But you know, just having comprehension and having proficiency in the Spanish language is just going to make your time a lot easier, and it's going to help you connect with locals there and just feel more adapted to the society. So definitely, please do try to learn the language before you try to embark on a journey like this. All right, so now some information about the program. So I applied in 2020. So the application opened January 30th and closed April 15th. So it gives you about 3 to 4 months to just get everything together and apply. Now, I will be going into detail in a future video about my application tips for the program, but one thing I cannot stress enough to you is to apply early. Literally, it's almost like the Hunger Games. You know, like in college when you know the time that you're supposed to get into the system, well, at least at UT, which was a school with over 50 kids. So it was the Hunger Games during registration time for courses. But, you know, at the time that you're supposed to log in, everyone rushes and try to get their class and stuff like that. That's how it is with this program. It's really first come, first serve. So make sure you have all your application materials and everything ready by the time you need to submit your application, so that you can have priority, or you can increase your chances of being placed in the region and in the city that you want to be placed in, and working with the age group that you want to work with. All right, now some components of the application. They're going to ask you for a picture of your passport, like a PDF file scan. They're going to ask you for your official college transcript. You're going to have to write a statement of purpose essay of about 250 to 300 words, just basically explaining your interest in the program and why you want to be there. And then lastly, you're going to need a recommendation letter from a professor at your university. So definitely try and get all of those components together before it's time to apply. Now for some pros and cons between my program and other programs that are similar to it out there. So it's kind of complicated to like explain this information. So you have the Spanish Ministry of Education. That's like the main, that's the main guy, right? So now you have my program, which is directly tied to that program, to the Spanish Ministry of Education. But there are also programs like Fulbright and CIEE, which kind of serve as like an intermediary between the Spanish Ministry of Education and you as the applicant. So for me, I just went straight to the Ministry of Education. I didn't use any program to get access to this opportunity. But there are some benefits to programs like Fulbright and CIEE. So for example, with Fulbright, Fulbright is a very competitive program. I'll be honest, I applied to Fulbright, I think it was like 2 years ago when I was a senior in undergrad. Yes, that's when I applied to Fulbright. And I received my rejection letter while I was interning at the Supreme Court eating my lunch in the cafeteria. I remember opening up the email and I was like, you know what, it's fine. I'm too good for you guys. That's perfectly okay. I was definitely hurt. I will not lie to you because I really wanted to move to Spain at that point. But, you know, with God, a no is just a redirection to something greater. And that's what it was for me. As soon as I moved back to Houston after I was done with my internship, became Miss Black Houston, did a lot of great work with that, and had even more time to work on myself, work on like studying for the LSAT and law school preparations and stuff like that. And now I'm still going to be able to do what I want to do and still move abroad. So yeah, just a little tidbit of a testimony. But yes, Fulbright is still an exceptional program. It's very competitive. If you're applying to programs like law school or dental school or med school, it's a really great thing to have on your application. Like, it looks really great. So definitely I would suggest, if that's what you would want to do, apply for it. Now I will say it's a lot more stringent of an application than it is with my program. My program is like, come on, anybody, you can do it. But with Fulbright, it's competitive, so they look at everything. They look at grades, recommendation letters from professors. They scrutinize a lot because there's a lot of people who apply for these teaching positions. So definitely I recommend looking into it and seeing if that's something you'd want to do. It's a really great program. But some drawbacks about Fulbright, one of the reasons why I even want to do my program is because I want the opportunity to live in Europe so I can travel Europe extensively. However, with Fulbright, from what I heard and from what I researched, they're kind of limited on how often you're allowed to even leave your country. I think it's about 14 days, and if you go beyond that, they penalize you by decreasing your stipend amount. I'm not sure. I'm not a Fulbrighter. Definitely make connections and see if you can get more clarity on that, but that's just some information I read online. So that might be a drawback for you. If you're like me and you want to go explore the world, maybe that's not the program for you because you don't want to feel restricted. Whereas with my program, they don't check for nothing. As long as you meet the 16 hours that you're supposed to be in the classroom, you can do whatever you want with your life. So I love that. Now I will say that if you do choose to apply to Fulbright and you know for a fact you're ready, you want to move abroad, apply to backup programs just in case. Like, I would apply to the ministry program as well, just directly with the Ministry of Education at the same time, so you still have a backup program that will take you to Spain. So just given how competitive Fulbright is, make sure if this is something you really want to do, you have that backup option. Now, another program that's similar is CIEE. This is like it's a paid service. I think it's about like $2,000, and it gets a lot of heat because a lot of people view it as unnecessary. You can literally just go straight to the Ministry of Education and get the same access to similar services for free. So with CIEE, basically you're paying for like an intermediary that's supposed to make the transition into you moving abroad and getting into the program a lot easier. They help with like the visa process. They help with just some other things and other components with the whole application process. To be honest, in my opinion, it's not worth the $2,000 you're paying. That money is money you could use to save and spend while you're in the country. I was able to find, and this is my first time ever doing this whole process, but I was able to find great information on visa and moving abroad and stuff on Facebook groups. And these are Facebook groups I will link down below. But the information is out there. I don't think it's necessary to pay for a service with someone just holding your hand throughout the process. It's definitely doable. And I will definitely still say that there are a lot of people who complain about CIEE even after paying. So maybe that's just something you'd want to consider. And of course, there are other programs. CIEE and Fulbright, like those aren't the only programs that do similar things. There are other variations of this program. Now lastly, I want to make a note on the teaching aspect of being a part of this program. You do not need any certification. You don't have to be an education major. You don't have to have experience in teaching. You don't have to be certified in teaching teaching English. You don't need any of that. And I think that's really great because it just widens the pool of people who can be a participant in this program. However, it might present some difficulties. Personally, I love kids. I elected to work with like primary, elementary school age children. I just love kids. I work as a Montessori teacher currently, well, pre-COVID, but I love being around kids. I do Sunday school. Like, I just love teaching. I love being around kids. So that's just my personality. Now, I will say that if that's not something you like to do or you see yourself doing it, maybe this is not the program for you to get you abroad, but I would say try it out. You never know, you might love it. You might really find a passion for it too. All right, so that rounds out this video. Thank you guys for sticking with me through this video. I hope it was informative. I will definitely be leaving links below to the actual program website, and I'll also leave a link to CIEE and Fulbright below as well. Do your research, look extensively into these programs, and figure out which one works best for you. Just know that the opportunity is out there. If this is something you want to do, you can definitely do it. And the thing is, you don't even just have to do Spain. There are different countries who have similar programs. Just go out there and do the research and just take a leap of faith and go about it. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe. Let me know if this is something you would want to do and which country you would choose to go and move abroad to. I'm really excited for this journey. Even with like COVID and everything that has put like a damper on things, I'm still holding the faith because I know I will get to Spain very, very soon. So I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.